A lot of people see this as a long-term investment, 7 to 10 years.
There's a huge lack of supply and so much demand.
Where realistically do you see the completion here? Is that around 2033, around that, or like?
I think way before that.
What is the practical advice you would say if I today want to invest in Expo City?
Cash flow, pure cash flow. I want passive income.
Whenever you're talking about it, I don't feel like you're selling it. I feel like you're proud of it,
100%. We are so blessed to have phenomenal leadership. Expo 2020, where we had over 24 million people come through our doors in just a period of 6 months and still no traffic.
Welcome to the next episode of NOVVI Talks. I'm Olga, and today I'm actually sitting down with Peter Kafie. He is the director of sales at Expo City, and I'll tell a little story behind how we met. We actually were on self-development journey this weekend, Master Your Presence, and we were learning how to speak publicly and make an impact. We can speak publicly, don't you worry about that. But we wanted to focus more on how to make an impact with our speech. And as soon as I heard Peter is a director, I'm like, oh my God, I have a brilliant idea for the podcast. So here you are, welcome.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me. A pleasure to be here. And yeah, we had a great weekend learning how to improve our public speaking.
And we aced it, I feel like. In any case, going back to the Expo City. So there has been many claims that Expo City is a new downtown. What do you think about it? Who should we believe, the rumors and the reels, or you gonna tell us?
Look, there's two different ways that a city and a master community can grow, right? In my opinion, you can either grow the organic route, which takes time, right, organically, or there's a route that is super interesting in which the most powerful person in the whole emirate, His Highness, right, is moving entire industries right at the doorstep of Expo City Dubai. Industries such as what? Like the Dubai Exhibition Center, which will be the largest exhibition center in the whole Middle East. Not only that, but he's also moving the whole airport industry with Maktoum International Airport, which will be the largest airport in the world. To put things into perspective, Dubai International Airport has a capacity of around 90 million passengers per year. Al Maktoum will have 260 million passenger capacity per year, which will be 5 times the size of Dubai International Airport. So because of this, because the fact that it's a free zone as well, in Dubai, you have 3 different levels of communities, right? You have your leasehold, which is 99-year leasehold. You can only rent, or GCC and Emiratis can buy in it. Then you have freehold, which is what most of the world knows about Dubai, the different communities that are freehold, like your Dubai marinas, like your downtowns, your palms. Then you have another level, which is the free zone, which grabs all the benefits of being a freehold plus a free zone. What are the benefits of a free zone? Well, you can have 100% ownership, which is amazing, right? You also have certain tax advantages depending on what your industry is and if the products are not sold within UAE. So there's a ton of advantages, and this is why we have so many different companies every single month moving in to Expo City Dubai. Companies such as Siemens Energy, global headquarters of DP World, Nestle ranked 67 just joined us. So the list keeps going on and on. So to answer your question point blank, could this be the next downtown? The Dubai government is doing such a phenomenal job to make sure that this is the focal point of His Highness's 2033 vision and 2040 master plan vision to lead the way in Dubai South, that I don't see any reason why not. So very excited.
All right. Okay. All right. So downtown of the south of Dubai and Dubai South. But the interesting point you just mentioned, I did not realize it's a free zone.
Yes. Not many people know about it. Not many people know about it. So Expo City Dubai, what is that? That's the name of the city, the name of the developer, which we're now building apartments, townhouses, villas, right? So many different residential options. And it's the name of the free zone, Expo City Dubai Free Zone Authority.
Well, I learned something new already. Okay, and moving on to the claim of being investment. A lot of people see this as a long-term investment, 7 to 10 years, which kind of aligns what you've just been saying, the whole vision of 2033, 2040, Maktoum. So it's not happening tomorrow, it's not happening in a year. And I'm assuming also in alignment with Jebel Ali, Palm as well. So it's like 7 to 10 years is a proper claim. What do you think about this timeline? Is this correct, or what would you recommend to the investors? What would you say?
7 to 10 years, that's when a lot of things will be online. But I believe that investors are going to be making money way before the 7-year mark.
Mm.
I'll give you an example, right? Expo City Dubai has 4 unique revenue streams that investors love, which are the largest exhibition center in the Middle East, which will be Dubai Exhibition Center, the largest airport, the fact that we are a free zone with all the different companies, and all the events that we're known for doing, the biggest and best events in the world, right? We're the only place in the entire world that has done a global expo and a COP28 right there in the same city. So that's phenomenal. And that brings a lot of revenue streams for investors. The reason why I say that investors will start making a profit way before the 7 years, a lot before, I'll give you an example. Our first projects are being delivered by the middle of next year, 2026, right? Over 2,000 families have already entrusted Expo with their investments. And a lot of those are being materialized in next year, 2026, middle to the end of next year. We have projects like Shamsa, which are beautiful townhouses, duet villas called Yasmina, Maha Mansions in front of a beautiful nature reserve, and Mangrove Apartments, Sky Residence Apartments, and Al Waha Apartments, which are stunning. The reason I want to mention this is the exhibition center, which is right next to Al Waha, right? The expansion is being finalized in January of 2026. So before lots of our products even become online, right? So by January 2026, they're going to be inaugurating the expansion. What's this expansion? It's currently successful, the Dubai Exhibition Center, at 46,000 square meters, but they're increasing it to over 110,000 square meters by January, right? So that's huge. What's happening in January?
What's a comparable size to that? 100
Great question. Everybody knows the World Trade Center Exhibition Center,
Yeah.
right? So that's around 110,000, 120,000 square meters. So pretty much the same size, which is great. Gulf Foods is happening in January 2026 in 2 locations, both the World Trade Center and the Dubai Exhibition Center. So from that moment onwards, lots of people are going to start seeing the shift that is happening to Dubai Exhibition Center. Then in October of the same year of 2026, you're going to have GITEX, which so many people know about GITEX, and it's just a huge event. So the whole reason about this is that from the get-go, investors will be able to do a lot of short-term rentals and start making a profit immediately next year. You know what I mean? So that is phenomenal. So you don't have to wait until 7 or 10 years in order to make great profit. And let me put things into perspective a little bit further as to why the exhibition center is just so phenomenal and such a huge revenue stream. The World Trade Center Exhibition Center, you have at least 300 hotels in the vicinity from DIFC, downtown, Business Bay, all of Shakeside Road. Whenever you have a big event, all of these get fully booked out. Well, the beautiful thing is that in a 5-kilometer radius, right, there's only 2 hotels in the vicinity, which is the Rove Hotel, which is around 300 keys, and a new 5-star hotel that just opened up called Cheval Maison, which are the only 2 hotels in Expo City. So there's a huge lack of supply and so much demand. How much demand are we talking about? Well, here's some figures. In 2024, the World Trade Center Exhibition Center had over 2.4 million people come through the doors, right? When it's all said and done, this will be 50% bigger than that. So you can expect over 4 million people, but there's only 2 hotels in the vicinity, right? So who makes up for that gap? Investors, right? You buy an apartment and you put it to rent. This is one of the reasons why I decided to invest myself, not only myself, but several of my colleagues that are in the sales team, in the marketing team, all throughout Expo City. They're buying as well because they see that gap in the market. And when investors come and they realize about this, because we're a little bit of a hidden gem that not many people know about us yet. And so their eyes really open up.
Well, don't overhype, because if I decide to buy, let's keep it low. But what you also mentioned was interesting. And I think you kind of jump into my next question about what kind of events and what is the influx of people. And so the 4 million, that's basically the population of Dubai. The entire Dubai will be at the Expo. Is that, like, to put it in perspective, like, imagine all of these people showing up and having to be staying overnight somewhere for at least 3 to 5 days. That's the duration normally of the event.
That's your typical event, yes.
So yeah, and we have the high season, but during the low seasons we also have it, just more regional ones, right? And I'm 2 hands up. Please move away from Trade Center, all of the events. It's enough of the traffic there, and just keep it that a financial downtown, and whatever else in Dubai South.
Look, I think you brought up an amazing point, which is traffic. Because of Dubai's growing popularity, everybody wants to move here. So of course, the infrastructure is getting a little bit challenging, right? And therefore traffic. Out of all the master communities, I've been doing real estate in Dubai for over 12 years now. I've never seen a community that has future-proofed it against traffic like Expo City Dubai has. And this is one of the big reasons why His Highness is moving entire industries, because from the very beginning, the whole area has been future-proof against traffic with three unique ways. What are these three ways? Well, the infrastructure around Expo City, first of all. There's three main roads. Each one of these roads has 14 lanes. So you're talking about 14 times 3, 42 lanes in total. So phenomenal infrastructure around it. Plus, we have the metro that comes directly at our doorstep. So whenever we have the exhibition, you don't even have to walk more than 2 minutes. You're right there at the doorstep of the Dubai Exhibition Center. So it won't even put pressure on the rest of the city. But it gets even better. Why? Because once you get out of the metro, we have so many different golf carts that will take you all throughout the city. No other community has this. From the metro to golf carts to electric scooters and electric bicycles that help you just diffuse the whole traffic all around it. So that's phenomenal. And I haven't seen that in any other masjid community, right? And that's not all. There's also been multiple billion dirham investment to the secret as to why all of Expo City on top is just so pedestrian friendly. A 15-minute city that there's no cars on top, which minimizes risk for kids playing around, minimizes pollution and noise pollution as well. So this billion dirham investment that is all underground is already built. As far as the eye can see, you have a road network, parking, escalators, elevators that take you directly to the top. So making everything super easy. So because of these three reasons, the whole city has been future-proofed against parking, against traffic. And the best part, it was put to the test, Olga, right? How? Remember, we pulled off one of the greatest shows on earth, which was Expo 2020, where we had over 24 million people come through our doors in just a period of 6 months. That's more than some days, 150,000 people. Towards the end, even over 300,000 people on a daily basis, and still no traffic. So it's just
true.
Marvelous engineering and master planning what they've done.
Very true, because I remember I've been there 3 times. Because of the Swiss pavilion, we kept going back for the chocolates.
Nice.
And I think all the kids in Dubai were required as a part of the school curricula to go in and enjoy a day at the expo. By the way, you guys still have those bots that like, hey, hello, how are you? Do you still have them around?
Yes. And speaking of bots, there are now more bots part of the family, actually. It's super cool when I'm driving around in a golf cart and I just see autonomous, 100% autonomous bots, Olga, just roaming around the city, delivering food, right? So there's so many different reasons why Expo is becoming just the city of the future. And with regards to the bots, it's just super cool to see them around.
I can imagine. And with the bots and tech and AI, you know, the Dubai is trying to accomplish being the leader hub for AI. So I'm sure all AI events are going to be happening there now. Maybe sometimes at the Trade Center too, because of the whole innovation. But I'm sure it's going to be happening there as well.
In terms of events, I mean, you have just the best of both worlds. Expo City themselves, known as throwing some of the biggest and best events. You have the Dubai Exhibition Center, World Trade Center that also does events at Expo City. You have the government of Dubai doing events there as well. So in terms of events, whether you are an end user, you never have to leave the city to get everything that you want. By the way, stay tuned for some big surprises this year, not only in terms of our real estate developments and what we're launching, but there's also going to be some huge announcements, like announcements that we're hoping for, like who's going to be the top tier school service provider. There's been a lack of schools right now in the UAE, right? So everybody's super excited, especially the end users that invested in Expo, who that school service provider will be and who the top tier hospital service provider will be as well.
So it's going to be like a master plan community now,
yes, a city within a city.
Okay, very good. Well, you talk so passionately about it. What is your favorite part? I understand there are different districts of Expo City. I already understood that, but what's your favorite?
So you're right. There are 5 different districts, and there's 5 unique and very charismatic districts, right? I think one of my favorites, I'm torn between 2 in particular. They're all phenomenal and they all have their unique characteristics, but the downtown district and the Expo Valley district are very unique and they're polar opposites.
Wait. There's a downtown of Dubai.
There's the Expo downtown district. What's the Expo downtown district? Well, You have, that's where the exhibition center, the central part, the metro, you have the world's largest 360 interactive dome, all Wassel dome.
Ah, yes, the
Olga,
concert.
I've seen so many events there. And till this date, I still get goosebumps whenever I go to one of these events. Why? Because you have over 250 HD projectors, full surround sound. So any event that gets taken there gets taken to a whole nother level. Even Coldplay played there, which has been
Yes,
on
that
the
was like
news lately.
for the wrong reason, but
So our events get taken to a whole nother level there. And so that dome is just absolutely just magical, magical. Then complete opposite to
Mm.
Expo Downtown, which is a lot more higher density, especially with the new buildings that we're going to be launching in the future. You have Expo Valley, which is the complete opposite. What does that mean? A lot lower density. And we have Expo Forest there, which is so unique because it's not every day that you see a developer that is building over 2.5 million square feet of nature reserve,
Oh,
parks,
thank you.
gardens, and even with a beautiful sky canopy where you can take friends and family and enjoy the views. There's going to be wildlife as well, a lovely lake that is currently being built. So there's so many reasons that, in fact, it reminds me a lot of, let's say, Central Park in New York,
Ah,
just to scale of Expo City, right?
makes sense.
And you know how valuable the real estate is near Central Park in New York. So it's just a beautiful way of giving back to the community. The opportunity cost for a developer to give over 2.5 million square feet of land just
Mm.
dedicated for forests, parks, and gardens, giving back to the community. I think it's a huge differentiator that speaks volumes as to what Expo City is trying to do differently from everybody else, which is very exciting.
And to be fair, you have the space, like even if you do something like this, there has been a tendency to go greener. Even on the beachfront communities, people still want to see greenery, but your space allows to actually go big. So go big. So at the end, from what I'm hearing, I have a feeling it's both convenient for the investors because there is accountable factors that make it a smart and safe investment. But it's also is a good choice for end users as well.
Absolutely, absolutely. Especially when you're talking about a city within a city that you can get everything without having to leave. I mean, you're enjoying right now we have over 45,000 square meters of parks. With Expo Forest coming online, that is increasing in
Hmm.
orders of magnitude, right? You have all the different offices because of the free zone, which is phenomenal. We have so many restaurants today, Olga. Not a single person is living currently in Expo City, right? Besides people that are staying at the Rove Hotel or Cheval Maison, but we haven't finished our own developments. So yet we still have so many delicious restaurants and food options throughout the whole city because they cater to the over 4,000, over 5,000 high level
Ah,
employees that are currently working in Expo City. And there's room for 40,000 high level employees, right?
mhm.
So that's a lot of professionals that are going to need a place to stay. Who wouldn't want to be able to just do a quick walk to work or take a 1 minute buggy ride to work and not have to use your car unless you don't want to, which is phenomenal. And think about the supply of it. When it's all said and done, there's only going to be around 36 room for 36,000 people to live in it. So just with the professionals, you can dwarf the
Mm.
number of living spaces. Let's not talk about all the spaces that are going to be used for short-term rental because of the largest exhibition center in the whole MENA region, which will be, by the way, top 20 in the entire world when it's all said and done. It's going to be over 180,000 square meters, 50% bigger than the World Trade Center one, just to put things in perspective. So from events, delicious places to eat, phenomenal mobility on top, underneath the city, future proofed against traffic. I mean, having direct metro connectivity to the world's largest airport, being in what His Highness calls the new center of Dubai's future.
Yeah.
So that is it's just phenomenal. And all credit goes to the Dubai government because they've done just a phenomenal job with the master planning of it and the execution of it and just overall support. So
Okay, well, sounds very exciting and convenient and comfortable. But I wanted to, since you already kind of revealed your surprise in terms of the master community. So the school is coming, the hospital is coming. Where realistically do you see the completion year? Is that around 30? Opa, I lost my voice.
around
2033, around that, or like,
I think way before that, way before
okay.
that, that's going to be the city's going to be absolutely well. Right now, there's already a vibe to it.
Mm-hmm.
clients, when they first step into Expo City, they get blown away for several things. Number one, they realize real quickly, hey, this is a lot closer than I thought. Oh, I live in the Palm, right? It takes me just 17 minutes to get to work on a daily basis. There's this misconception that Expo is super far away. I don't know if this was because during Expo 2020, people made it seem like it was a little bit further away, so it wouldn't affect traffic and all. But clients get immediately surprised. Oh, this was a lot quicker, and there's no traffic to get here. So okay, so makes it even quicker, right? So that part is great, and there's just so many different surprises that are coming up right now that we are so excited, especially from our development side. You're going to be hearing some news in August. You're going to be hearing some news in September. And then for the end of the year, we have a big bang coming up. So can't wait for you to come over.
I feel like this is a project that is not going to fail because you mentioned His Highness, the Sheikh of Dubai, that he personally initiated, among other flagship, his babies, Palm Jumeirah, and having Burj Khalifa. He handpicked that project as well. So I feel like there's going to be a lot of PR campaigns coming for the expo, like to continue to surprise people, to impress people, and put it on the map, And um, from one of the last questions was more because sometimes, we have the clients who are listening to this podcast. What is the practical advice you would say if I today want to invest in Expo City? If I'm first-time buyer, what is it so unique about your residential complex compared to anything else in Dubai?
So that's a great question. In terms of what makes it unique, I think we covered
Yeah,
that a
yeah,
lot.
yeah.
The first question that I love to get an understanding from the investor that's right in front of us, right, is I need to understand what's your investment strategy. And based on your investment strategy, I can guide you accordingly. Myself and the rest of the team, we have an amazing sales team that are super capable and professional. So, what questions do we ask? We ask, are you looking for a capital appreciation strategy? Because if so, then we have the perfect product for
Ticks.
you, right? What's a capital appreciation strategy for those that are maybe not so aware with the real estate world? Well, that's a typical investor that is looking to buy now and probably sell before they get the keys or shortly after they get the keys. And they're looking for the price of their unit to appreciate the fastest.
Yeah, let's
right?
simplify it. It's a profit.
Correct.
The money you make after you sell.
And so, what do we recommend for that? We recommend right now we have a phenomenal Al Waha loft, which has over 5 meter high ceilings with floor to ceiling windows. And you can't duplicate that because it doesn't make financial sense for other developers to duplicate that. It's just, it's very rare for a real estate residence to have such a huge wow effect. So that's the capital appreciation route. What's the other strategy? The other strategy is the yearly yield route, right? Which means how much money can I make on a yearly basis,
The cash flow.
right? Cash flow, pure cash flow. I want passive income. And for that, we have another different recommendation, right? Then I would recommend a 2-bedroom simplex, right? Still has over 3.2 meter high ceilings, which is beautiful. But with that, you're just going to be renting it out more on a short-term basis.
Yeah.
And so you maximize your yearly yield percentage. And that way you have, depending on what your strategy is, we have a product that's right for that client.
Perfect. So from the standpoint in real estate, so you have the commercial spaces, you have the office spaces, you have retail spaces. I guess are they on rent or they can be bought?
Our commercial spaces are for rent.
For
yes.
rent.
We have a lot of options there, and the commercial team is doing a great job with
Okay.
all of that.
And finally, the residential part of it. Okay, so I just wanted to add one point where you were saying, people think that it's far, far. I think after you start living in Dubai, you get used to one area, but then your mind kind of bends the dimensions. I moved here 16 years ago, and I thought anything over the Sheikh Zayed Road was end of the world for me. Marina was end of the world. Anything not Al Shibab, Al Barari was the end of the world.
100%.
And I start driving around with clients. I'm like, it's only 20 minutes away.
100%. Yeah.
It's you start to understand that Dubai is not that city that used to be, all around downtown. It's been expanding to all its length capacity, and the only way for us to grow is this way or that way, right?
100%.
To the desert. But I prefer still Sheikh Zayed Road. To me is like a iconic. Like if it's along Sheikh Zayed Road, it cannot fail.
100%. Just to build off your story, I remember 10 years ago, my best friend he moved to JBT, right? And I told him, why are you going to the middle of the desert? And now JVT is super central.
Yeah.
So Dubai is expanding so quickly. I mean, you see that Dubai is growing even quicker towards Abu Dhabi. Abu Dhabi is also coming closer to Dubai. And this just foments why Expo City is right in the center of Dubai.
So, Peter, we talked a lot about the expo, and I don't know what else can we add on. Do you have anything else to add on to that?
I mean, there's so much to talk about, but I want to leave some surprises for the rest of the year, and especially when you come to visit us in person, so we can show you a little bit more around, so you can see the look, the feel, and the vibe of the whole city, which is
Yeah, absolutely. I actually, I'm doing my own study now and trying to bring the clients there because, like you said, after listening to you, I'm like, this is the safest. This is a no-brainer. You just have to go for it. Okay, so since we heard about so much about the expo, and I understand that you love your job and you're very passionate about it, and you're passionate about the project. It's kind of,
thank you.
like this is like, okay, did I hit all of the tick marks on my job dream of my life? But tell me, how did you get there? What's your journey here in Dubai? When did you move here? Are you new to Dubai? Which doesn't sound like it, but but what's your journey?
Look, it's been a very interesting journey, and real estate found me, which is very interesting. And what do I mean by that? So I was living in Honduras for like 14 years. I lived 10 years in US, I lived 14 in Honduras, and then I moved to Miami and I started doing real estate in Miami. But the reason I say that real estate found me is because I was applying to so many different jobs, right? I'm not a US citizen. And so in order for me to get a permit to work there, it's not as easy as Dubai. Dubai makes getting a work permit so easy. In the US, it's a lot more
Yeah,
complicated, right?
trust me,
You
I
need
know.
a ton of lawyers, and even when you pay a ton of lawyers, it still doesn't go through. So, long story short, I went to 30 different interviews, right? And I got 29 said yes, right? But they wouldn't be able to do my
Mm.
sponsorship for my visa, right? My mom had just purchased an apartment in Miami, and the real estate company found out that I was looking for a job, and so they're like, "Okay, let me. I want They want to interview me, right?" So I went very excited to my 29 interviews, except the 30th one, because this I wasn't looking to go into real estate, right?
Mm.
And so I went in without my normal cheerful self, just very serious, because I'm like, "What am I? I'm doing it mostly because my mom wanted me to go meet them." I'm like, "Okay, I'll go meet them." Long story short, the owner of the company said, "I like Peter because he's very serious," right? It's completely different than my normal personality. So I ended up getting that job, and I did real estate in Miami, and they were super nice. It's a Venezuelan family, and super nice. And so I started doing my first sale, my first rentals there in Miami, and I fell in love with
The
real estate.
process.
Why? Because it's so unique. The people that you meet on a daily basis, right? People that are buying real estate, you can say they're successful. And so everybody has a story, especially and it's very interesting for me to find out what that story is. And you meet a lot of people from all necks of the wood. So I fell in love with real estate. My mom had she was living in Lebanon, and things in Lebanon were a little bit spicy. And so, because my sister was just born in 2010, then they decided to move to Dubai. My mom had been here for 2 months. She gives me a call and says, "Peter, why don't you come to Dubai? You would love it. You can do real estate here as well." And being in the university in the US, I had always seen Dubai has phenomenal marketing out in the West, right?
PR campaigns.
7-star hotels, and you think that the whole life is just 7-star. That you think
Which it
every
is, which it
bathroom is
is.
made of gold, and you're like, I need to check out this city. And I had always wanted to come. So when she said that, I'm like, absolutely. So I come here, and within 2 weeks, I had 2 job offers. One was to continue to do real estate with a real estate company, and the other one was to be recruitment, right?
Mhm.
Which is pretty much like real estate, but with people, right?
Mhm.
So
Still sales,
yeah,
no
still
matter
sales.
what. But I find that sales is everywhere. Even talking to your kids, you always negotiate for something.
Yes, absolutely. Um,
So going back to recruitment or real estate, and
and
you
so I ended
chose.
up I choose real estate, and I've been doing real estate. I started off being a open market broker, and so I enjoyed that. Um, Lots of ups and downs when you're in
Hmm.
open market, right? And
What does
then
that mean? Like
to
open
me,
market?
open market means that you're not married to one developer, right? That
So
you can
freelance
sell
kind of
everything. Correct.
freelance.
You're
Okay.
with one brokerage company, and you can sell whatever you want. You're not dedicated to one particular area. One day I would sell downtown, the other day I would sell Palm, the other day I would
Mm-hmm.
sell Marina, so like that, which is nice. And then I left real estate, and I started working with Two companies. One was Auto Trader, the other one was Honda. And one of my best friends, um, he said, Peter, the most luxurious brand in the world for hotels is doing their first residences in Abu Dhabi, right? I think you would be perfect. Come back to real estate, right? And this was the Four Seasons in Al
Mm.
Mara. And so he had me at Four Seasons, right? So I go back and I experienced the whole part of being from the developer. And it was very unique. And I'm like, okay, I love this. I get to study every single inch and cranny of one particular project,
Mm.
right? And be and teach the world about this. So that's pretty cool to have everybody come to us and you explain the whole project inside out. And so I fell in love
Mm.
with being from the developer side. And from that moment on, I've had the pleasure of working with so many different developers, both branded, unbranded, private, government. I had the pleasure of working with a tourism development investment company in Saudi Island where we launched Saudi Lagoons,
Mm-hmm.
Jawahar, Mamsha, just phenomenal.
Success stories.
Yes, they launched the Louvre in Abu Dhabi when
Yeah.
I was working with them. So so many cool experiences, and I fell in love with the developer part, and I've been doing that ever since. And Expo City is has been another level. Like you said, a dream job of mine because it's very different, the ethos and the value behind this developer, right? Profit is not their number one motivator, which you would assume every other business is, right? Sustainability is huge part of it, right? 100% of all the energy is from green and renewable sources.
Mm.
They care a lot about the well-being, the mental well-being of all its employees and everybody that comes into it, and and so forth. So it's been an amazing journey, and what's so exciting is that as a developer we're just starting to scratch the surface right now. Once we have all our projects that are starting to get delivered, 2026 is going to be a phenomenal year because then people have something. Okay, now we
Is
have something that has been built and people are going to love the quality. I mean, I can't wait to live there myself. I bought a 2 bedroom there just so I can have a 2 minute walking distance to work, and be a city within a city, not have to touch my car unless I don't want to. Right. So I couldn't be more excited about next year because there's so many big things that are happening. And that's a little bit about my life story and how I got involved in real estate.
All right, so a few flagship projects under your wing. Okay, we get it, we get it. But from what I have seen so far, I work with multiple developers and multiple developer officers, not officers, offices, and their representative sales force. Sometimes it lacks the quality and the knowledge. And from the moment I saw you do one sentence that this is it, I know you're gonna say something that matters. And and I know that you've done your numbers behind it. Like this is kind of a guy that I'm like, okay, I want to buy, I'm gonna go to you. Because what I like about you, you're very thorough. And it seems like you're super passionate. The leadership probably at Expo City is inspiring already.
100%.
But I feel like you've given it all yourself to understand the project, to feel the project, and to be able to talk about it. Because whenever you're talking about it, I don't feel like you're selling it. I feel like you're proud of it.
100%. Yes. And I think you hit the nail right on the head, which is we are so blessed to have phenomenal leadership. Not only, I mean, in Expo City, but in Dubai, right? We're just blessed with the best leadership that there is. So, and that permeates from His Highness down to Her Excellency, who is the CEO of Expo City Dubai. I mean, to hear her speak with so much passion and knowledge, it's riveting. And her book, which I read, is just phenomenal. And then our chief development officer, his name is Mr. Ahmed Al Khatib. He's just great. He's built the whole city. We just had our quarterly meeting just yesterday, in which we had the whole department
Yeah.
there together, over 90 people, and this is just one of the many departments that Expo City has. So, and then our vice president of sales, Mr. Kareem Al Said. Each one of these are just natural born, leaders,
Yeah.
and then at the top they're just visionaries.
Yes, exactly. I was
So
going to say.
it's so easy to get inspired and motivated to get to work every single day.
Which I remember now that you said it about Her Excellency. I remember when we met, we were talking about, well, we're talking about this great Expo City, the great story of success, but but it was not like this at the beginning. COVID happening, people canceling, panicking, and I know a lot of people kind of wanted it to fail because I don't know why we get this negative reputation, like, oh, Dubai got it right, got success, and I think some were hoping we would fail, but we didn't. I don't think so. With
Yeah.
what was it, 24 million people visitors?
Correct. Over 24 million people in just six
So
months and during the worst pandemic in the last 100 years of human history, right? So, absolute success. Over 192 countries represented, which was the most countries represented in an expo in history. So, just phenomenal success. And when you read Her Excellency's book, there's a special area that was just, it gave me goosebumps because there was a point in time, like you mentioned, that we didn't know if Expo 2020 was going to happen, right? And so much hard work, so much preparation was put on behalf of her and her amazing team that she was very nervous. And you remember during those times that there was so much instability that no one knew what was going to happen,
yeah,
anxiety. And this is where phenomenal visionary leaders come from. His Highness just came to her and said, we will do it no matter what happens. Even if they don't give it to us, we will do it ourselves and people will come. And so to have that level of reassurance that no matter what, that is going to happen and it's going to be successful, I mean, one of
yeah.
a kind, one of a kind.
Yeah, so let's finish with this success story, because this is truly inspiring, because people always see the end result. They're like, oh, it was easy, you got there, and you got there, and somehow magically nobody knows, but nobody talks about these difficulties that going on the background. But through, like you said, it takes a leader, a visionary to bring it to life. So
100%.
lots of successes to you again.
Thank you so much, Olga. Appreciate your time.
Well, thank you, Peter, again for your time. Lots of successes to you. And of course, thank you for watching us. You like it, share it, subscribe. There's many more tips to come from Novi.